Title: Climate Change, a Global Crisis Requiring Urgent Action. Introduction. Climate change has emerged as one of the most pressing issues facing our planet today. With rising temperatures, extreme weather events, and environmental degradation, the impacts of climate change are being felt across the globe. In this article, we will delve into the causes and consequences of climate change, as well as the urgent need for collective action to address this global crisis. Causes of climate change. Climate change is primarily driven by human activities that release greenhouse gases, GHGs, into the atmosphere. The burning of fossil fuels for energy, deforestation, industrial processes, and agricultural practices contribute to the accumulation of GHGs, such as carbon dioxide, CO2, and methane, CH4. These gases trap heat in the Earth's atmosphere, leading to the greenhouse effect and subsequent global warming. Consequences of climate change. The consequences of climate change are far-reaching and affect various aspects of our planet and its inhabitants. Rising global temperatures have led to the melting of glaciers and polar ice caps, resulting in sea level rise and the increased frequency and intensity of extreme weather events, including hurricanes, droughts, and heat waves. Ecosystems are being disrupted, biodiversity is declining, and vulnerable communities, particularly in developing countries, are experiencing the brunt of these impacts. Environmental and humanitarian implications. Climate change poses significant environmental and humanitarian challenges. Changes in rainfall patterns and temperatures disrupt agricultural systems, leading to reduced crop yields, food insecurity, and increased vulnerability to hunger. Rising sea levels threaten coastal communities, displacing populations and causing economic and social upheaval. Additionally, the loss of biodiversity and destruction of ecosystems jeopardize the balance of our natural world and the services it provides, including clean air and water, pollination, and climate regulation. The need for collective action. Addressing climate change requires concerted efforts at the individual, local, national, and international levels. Here are some key areas where action is needed. Mitigation. We must reduce greenhouse gas emissions by transitioning to clean and renewable energy sources, improving energy efficiency, and adopting sustainable practices in agriculture, industry, and transportation. Setting and achieving ambitious emissions reduction targets, such as those outlined in the Paris Agreement, is crucial. Adaptation. Building resilience to the impacts of climate change is essential. This includes implementing measures to protect vulnerable communities, infrastructure, and ecosystems. Investing in climate-resilient agriculture, disaster preparedness, and sustainable urban planning can minimize the risks associated with climate change. Sustainable development. Promoting sustainable development practices that integrate social, economic, and environmental considerations is vital. Balancing economic growth with environmental stewardship and social equity can help create a more sustainable and resilient future. International cooperation. Climate change is a global challenge that requires international cooperation and coordination. Collaborative efforts among nations are needed to share knowledge, technology, and resources to tackle climate change effectively. Global agreements and platforms, such as the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, facilitate this cooperation. Individual action. Each individual has a role to play in combating climate change. Adopting sustainable behaviors, reducing energy consumption, supporting renewable energy sources, and advocating for policy changes can make a difference. Conclusion. Climate change is an urgent global crisis with severe consequences for our planet and future generations. The time for action is now. By addressing the root causes of climate change, mitigating its impacts, and fostering sustainable development, we can create a more resilient and equitable world. Through collective action, international cooperation, and individual responsibility, we can mitigate climate change and preserve our planet for future generations. The choice is ours, to act decisively and safeguard the Earth or face the dire consequences of inaction.